Yo, 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 welcome to the Hub. It's your boy Sam on the mic. Holla, holla.
I'm Matt.
Rapping the mic so viciously. Tell them what we're doing.
Crisis on Earth X Part 2.
Yeah. So yeah, one thing we've discussed for a while going into it, because I mean, when we first saw the poster for this, we were like, oh, doppelgangers, like evil compatriots of the characters, what's going to be flexing? One thing I think we did mention in passing, but I don't think we really thought would happen, is the return of Mr. Thomas Merlyn.
hmm
I liked it, you
Yeah,
didn't. You said glorified cameo.
yeah. I didn't hate it. It's just I thought, well, is that it? Like he was back for all of 2 minutes, and then he pops some cyanide, and then it's over.
At any time, were you expecting it? Who were you expecting to? Were you expecting Barrowman?
He's got to show up. Come on, he loves it.
It would be jokes if Barrowman turns out to be the Führer. That'd be jokes. Yeah, but he kind of... So yeah, they capture Prometheus, who they got last episode, and then it turns out to be Tommy Merlyn, and then he's nanging it with Oliver for a while, and then he kind of turns, and turns out he is an arsehole, blah, 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 and then he pops a sign. Like, if he was smart, because Oliver was real dumb in that scene in the sense that is like, oh, well, I won't live long enough, pops the thing out, Oliver instantly runs, opens the door. It's like Tommy should have just been like, yeah, I won't live long enough, crack, and waited for Oliver to open the door and just walked out. Because I'm pretty sure one-on-one he would have had maybe a good chance of like being able to get away from Oliver, maybe, even if he just kind of ran for it and did evasive maneuvers. So like the fact like the door was open and then he decides to like crack the thing, I'm pretty sure he could escape. Pretty
How
sure.
did Oliver even fall for it? It's like everyone from that Earth is an evil Nazi, and yet there's one. I get he was your best friend, but there's one guy. No,
I think he,
come on, man.
I think Oliver was hurting bad. So then we get a flash, and we've got a flash over to whatever, and then Oliver finds out Tom is dead. Um, and then yeah, I guess it just kind of seemed like the average episode of Arrow, where oh, there's been a break-in somewhere. Let's go and see what's popping. I mean, it turns out that Reverse Flash is there, and he's Eobard Thawne from Earth 1, which I thought, because I was waiting for them to confirm that, because I was like, did they say Earth 1, Eobard Thawne? So somehow his...
So let's try and work this out. That's the same Eobard Thawne that was running around in Legends last season,
I think,
right?
I think so, yeah.
So where's he from then?
As he said, time travel. So maybe it's interesting because he's wiped out at the end of Legends of Tomorrow, but maybe like when he was running round and collecting everyone, maybe he was like, look, on the off chance this goes to crap. I mean, he's a smart guy, but the problem is like the ego maybe didn't, but maybe he was like, look, I've collected all these different fawns from throughout time, but on the off chance that something crazy happens, I'm gonna leave one there, and it's like, oh, if I ain't back in an hour, then I've been wiped from the timeline, so don't come near it. You know what
It
I
does
mean?
feel like, and I don't mean this as a complaint because I think he's a great character, so I don't want him to be gone forever. But it does kind of feel like, you know, the Terminator thing, where the Terminator will never really end because the whole plot is that it's a machine that sends someone back in time
Yeah.
to stop the war from stop blah blah blah, but it's Deus Ex blah blah blah. It will never really end. It feels like the same thing. Like he can never die. There's always going to be some version of him out there
Yeah.
traveling through time somewhere.
I think what's interesting as well is that he's wearing the kind of Wells face again on that Earth. What would have been interesting is if we knew that, because he revealed himself a little later on and was taunting Barry, that he revealed that like, do you know, you had the Council of Wells and stuff like that. if they somehow managed to like sneak him in there and find a way of like kind of worming his way back in. What I'm interested is, will they maybe swap out Wells on the sly?
I don't think so. I don't think they'll ever get rid of Harry.
Yeah, I know. But
I think he's the version of Wells everyone likes, which is why they brought him back.
Yeah, I know, but like swap out Harry for Eobard Thawne and then have him play it up again.
I don't think so.
Because I'm interested whether it was like really the actor kind of who plays him was kind of doing something else. I mean, that's really is that, and the fact that maybe they're going to try something with Wells.
I think it's the fact that it's just a doppelganger episode. You got the others doing it. Why not let him do it? He did it before any they did.
Okay, but I just thought it was interesting why he'd kind of adopt the thing again. But I guess so.
And also, let's face it, they're spending a lot of money on this thing. You save money if you see Tom Cavanagh.
I'd believe you on that if I didn't see King Shark last episode. So yeah, it kind of felt like an episode of Arrow, because the whole in between and R and like Oliver following Felicity and sitting down and talking about not wanting to be married. I'm pretty sure to 4 different people she told the same story to in that episode, and I was just like, okay, I'm sick of hearing it now. I'm sick of hearing.
Oh, me too. I couldn't believe when Barry and Iris were in that room looking at the holographic paper, whatever it was, and then he struts back in and he starts banging on about it again. And then she shows us, oh my god, how many times, especially saying these are 2 episodes on the same night, back to back, like how many times are we going to sit through this?
I completely agree. So I guess the Earth X people's plan is to invade Earth, but then it's interesting because you got Thawne and Supergirl having a discussion about when the chips are down and push comes to shove, Oliver's gonna his alignments with Supergirl over Earth X. And they kept hinting at that, and then Supergirl was like, oh, okay, I'll make sure he stays the course. You know what, I'm going to do something that makes sure he stays the course. Then it turns out there's something right. Supergirl's been exposed to so much solar radiation that she's breaking down, so she needs a new heart, i.e. Supergirl. And like they steal some Helix device from a lab, and then as a distraction, they knock down a building, and then
Oliver had like the kryptonite arrow before that, like full on Batman crap.
Yeah, where did he get that from?
Where did he get kryptonite? Although that does play into something interesting they brought up, which is something we've talked about before. I think on air and off air, theorising about what they ever do with Superman and where would Superman be? Would it be on the Supergirl show? Would it be on this show? Blah blah blah. Is they brought up there's a Supergirl in every Earth.
Yeah.
So where is Supergirl and Superman in this Earth, or that Earth, Earth 1, whatever?
No
if there's
idea.
kryptonite, if he got kryptonite, then Krypton's already blown up.
Yeah, maybe this is one of them things where the CW will do it and hope no one looks too much into it.
Where's Lex Luthor?
Well,
where's the smartest guy on the planet?
Well, there we go. You know what I mean. These are questions. Have him turn up. I don't know.
Making a rod for your own back here, man. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I guess.
I'm thinking it's Earth X. They're from a different Earth. Why don't they just lay a ton of references? I want more references and stuff like that. And the best we've got is maybe the Flash and Iris's kid. That's the only references we've got so far, and it's just like, you know what I mean?
Well, let's get back to that scene you're about to talk about, or I'll cut you off.
Yeah. So the building's collapsing. Supergirl flies into action welding the beams, and Oliver turns.
Oliver's like, yeah, get me over there.
Yeah, Oliver's like, yo, get me over there, and the Flash is like, all right then. And I'm sitting here wondering, like, in my head, while it was all going on, for when I wasn't seeing Oliver, I was just expecting him to be standing near the door waving people like, over here, quick, out of it. and I was thinking that, but no.
The camera pans up and there he is, like, stood on one of the beams. Like, I'm thinking, like, what's he going to do?
And then I was thinking, oh, maybe he's got like welding arrows that maybe if Supergirl holds it up, and then I thought no, because she can just heat vision it. So I was running through every single way it could be of use, and the reality of which was something more horrible.
This scene has
crazy.
topped that one from last year with the exploding helicopter and he's swinging and whatnot. This was absurd. I've been enjoying this crossover, but this is like kind of the worst element of it. Of they've come up with this thing where apparently they all have to do everything together. Supergirl could have done this alone. Barry and Oliver could have gone chasing after the other two, but no.
Yeah. In my head, maybe I'm thinking they did it on purpose because they knew it'd be funny. Maybe that was a big comedy moment. But yeah, so he dashes an arrow and starts swinging. The CGI was horrible. The CGI was just terrible. Looked like a kid did it. And he was just swinging around, like, I guess effectively webbing up the building with what looked to be quite thick wire, and I'm sitting there thinking, where's this wire? You know what? Is he hiding it in his socks? And it's crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. I don't know what they were thinking. So yeah.
That for Supergirl could just lift a beam up, use a heat ray vision, and boom, job done.
Yeah, I completely agree. So then, I guess a little later on, again, we have like a big fight scene of everyone together. And then it's like emphasis on if someone gets whacked, and even if it's with an arrow, they take into the air and fly about 10 feet, like perfectly horizontal before they hit the ground. Kind of like, do you know when Oliver was introduced in the first bit and he was fighting the ninjas and he fired an arrow at one and blasted them clean through a wall? Like, that was good. People were flying about, and I was like, I'm pretty sure like they were just whacked by someone without super strength. I mean, you had just the Barry and Thawne, just like the zapping electricity around them and stuff like that. They couldn't be bothered to do any slow motion scenes and stuff like that. And then yeah, they end up all getting captured. Then they reveal the plan to make some sort of red sun thing so they can take Supergirl's heart and put it into Overgirl, blah blah blah, and then it ends with them on Earth X.
Yeah, well, because the Reverse Flash goes to S.T.A.R Labs, doesn't he? And he takes something, whatever he took, and then like the Arrow supporting. Oh no, wasn't Oliver there as well?
I know.
That's it. No, the Reverse Flash didn't go. Oliver went. Evil Oliver went, didn't he, to S.T.A.R Labs? Yeah,
and then you kind of see their team was smart. They were like, okay, then Oliver ain't gonna do nothing. We've got me with super speed and Supergirl. We'll go and deal with these guys. Oliver, you go to S.T.A.R Labs, as opposed to Oliver, come with us and web up the building. So yeah. He goes to S.T.A.R Labs, and then you got Felicity and flipping Iris running their mouths, and then you got Mick and Caitlin. I kind of want them to smooch. I want something to go on between them. I think that'd be hard. I don't know why, because it's unfeasible. It's like, why not? You know what I mean? I think it's because he's a big brutish guy, but it's like, come on, just do it. So yeah, you kind of had that going on. And then you had Wild Dog, Mr. Terrific, and Canary show up. Obviously, they run out of money because they didn't want Canary to use her cry. I was like, oh, is she gonna do it then? Is she gonna do it? Nah. Oliver would just beat them all up, and then they end up getting carried off into cells.
Yeah, see, no, that's what I was gonna say. Is like, did I miss it, or did they not show them getting battered? All I remember is them turning up, and then like that was it.
They turned up, they got slapped once or twice, and then it went off somewhere else.
Like, you got one scene, but you get absolutely battered in it. I suppose it's good, though.
Yeah.
And that, I think, was that, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, I mean, I
think
that completely covers the whole of the episode. Let's talk numbers. I'm interested to see what Thawne's going to do at the end of this now, because he ain't supposed to be on Earth X, so I wonder what he's going to do now or after this.
I think he's got something up his sleeve. I don't think he even wants to be on Earth X. I think it's got some sort of... But I think he was the best during that whole expository crap about what our evil plan is. Again, he was the best part. It was really brief, but just the bit where he popped out and started taunting everyone, especially Barry. That was fun. I don't know what his plan is. What I'm confused by, is Oliver in charge, or is there an actual Führer above him?
Well, they mentioned it, didn't they? They mentioned the Führer, and I think maybe that's the trick up the sleeve, because now they're on Earth X, they're actually going to see who it is, I'd imagine. And bear in mind, Captain Cold ain't popped up yet, who's like a good guy, and the Ray hasn't turned up either. So you got those two that we haven't.
Who's the Ray?
A new character. Did you ever watch Being Human?
No.
Oh, well, you'll know it when you see him. It's kind of like...
Oh, is this Alonzo from Doctor Who?
Yeah, him. Okay. So it's like a character who kind of does like light things. I think maybe Eclipse, but from The Gifted, but not as good. So it's going to be popping up. So we got them two, and I mean now they're on Earth X, we'll see it. But yeah, so I'm hoping for some cool. I'm hoping for references more than anything else, because I mean I've watched these shows for enough years. I know what's going to go down. It's like I want some cool little like Easter eggs and stuff like that.
I'm still really intrigued by this whole Krypton and Earth One thing.
You know what? I was exactly thinking the same thing. Something needs to happen that's gonna somehow put like converge the two Earths together, like Supergirl, Superman being on that. You know what I mean? Because it's too much effort to kind of have them like Earth jumping. To me it really doesn't make sense, and it's annoying. So that's what I was thinking.
I think it's like, surely it must be a concern. Like, they've got to be a concern in a time when they're dealing with an evil Supergirl. You must think of all the crap Oliver and Barry and all these people deal with, the potential for there being another evil Kryptonian out there who can show up and rule everything. You know what I mean? There's got to be a concern, like, could they be out there somewhere? They're dealing with Dominators popping out of nowhere. Surely they must be worried about that. Or not.
I don't know, but like, really, to me, a big issue for the shows is the fact Supergirl's on another Earth. And I was thinking maybe it don't really fit in with this, but maybe in the next crossover they find a way to kind of like mix the kind of timelines, if you know what I mean, to put Supergirl on that Earth, because it like sticks out like a sore thumb, if you know what I mean. I don't like the fact she's on Earth like 31 and they're on Earth Prime.
It's like, is there a metropolis? Is there whatever city she's in? I have no idea. I thought this episode, I probably enjoyed it more, but as funny as it was, I really can't get over that scene. I can't believe it. I'll give it... I was tempted to give it an 8.5. I'll give it an 8, just for that alone.
Yeah. I'm going to give it an 8 as well, the same as the first episode, but I'm hoping to see a step up. Like, I'm wondering if there's going to be any surprises.
Like what?
I don't know.
I don't think it will be.
Like some sort of reference, like like, I don't know. I'm interested to see if there's going to be like an after credits thing where we see what Thawne's up to, because yeah, I'm intrigued how he ended up there. I can't quite figure out how he randomly, Earth 1 Eobard Thawne, ended up on the other side of the flipping multiverse. I can't work out why he's there. So yeah, that's my ending comment.
You know when Jimmy Olsen died in the first episode?
Yeah, that was the best.
It was. Did he mention something? Did I miss? I couldn't tell when he was like dying. Did he say anything relevant? Or was it just a generic "someday someone will bring you down" crap?
Probably. When it comes to Jimmy Olsen, I don't really care. But it's
Generic is the word.
It is interesting because on this Earth X, you've got everyone together on that. So I mean, if you got Jimmy Olsen on that Earth, in a way, I'm kind of hoping the Fuhrer turns out to be Lex Luthor or something.
Don't set your sights too high. That's not going to happen.
I want something. I want something cool. Maybe introduce a new character on this Earth that we haven't seen on the other Earths, but has the potential to pop up on the other Earths. I'm maybe thinking if they did converge Supergirl's Earth and this Earth 1, that maybe they'd change the timelines a bit. So maybe Lex Luthor ain't in prison yet.
I think you're getting too excited and ahead of yourself. That's not going to happen.
I want references. I just want stuff going on. It's like, why not? Just mention it. You don't have to show it. Just mention stuff. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Do you think there's going to be any more hokey scenes? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, I do. But I would be mind blown if they top that. I can't believe it.
All I know is it's episode 2 and clearly the CGI budgets ran out, so I'm hopeful.
They could have had the budget of fucking Avatar. It would have made that shit look good. Like, who wrote that and thought this would be great? It was so stupid.
It is crazy. So yeah, I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
And we'll see you next time for part 3 and 4 of Crisis on Earth X. Or Crisis in the Budgetary Studios. Finance Department.